Hello there and welcome to Cannonball Diva Chronicles. My name is Cannonball Diva. I'm a nurse practitioner and an ICU nurse. Today my topic is how an empath can avoid the control and abuse of the narcissist. I'm also going to highlight a story of a young American actress who got married in 2018 and who recently got divorced, and something she said about her experiences in a marriage. Please stay tuned.
Soundstripe.
When the narcissist is in attack mode and abusing or torturing the empath can take a stance of a gray rock. A gray rock is very easy to miss. It can blend into the background very easily, and anyone walking by may not even notice that it's there. And that is the whole essence of that terminology called gray rocking. The empath can decide not to respond or say anything back to the narcissist when they make up stories and lies and try to influence or try to prod the empath to say something back in anger. Because when the empath responds in anger or frustration, or by crying or by complaining loudly or saying things that, this is not fair, why are you treating me like this, that's not true, things like that, even though the narcissist knows that they're lying, all that response and all that feedback from the empath fuels them and gives them supply. The supply they're getting is the tears and the frustration of the empath. They are well aware that the empath didn't do what they're saying that they did. The empath must gray rock by silently conceding to defeat and accepting that the narcissist is telling the truth, just to protect their sanity and just to avoid a lengthy and useless argument with them. The empath must decide to walk away from that environment momentarily or for a short while if the narcissist persists in the argument. The empath must pretend as if they do not even hear them, or act as if in second thought they're hearing them. Oh, I'm sorry, were you saying something? Something like that sometimes makes the narcissist realize how silly they're being. The empath should gray rock and avoid future arguments that lead to nowhere with the narcissist by gray rocking. I like to talk about a story at this point of an American actress who was once a child star, but who became a successful actress as an adult as well. Her name is Tia Mowry, and she married Corey Hardit in 2018. And it just became a public knowledge that she filed for divorce about a year ago, and recently the divorce process was completed. The reason I like to talk about her briefly is because of some of the traits of the narcissist that I noticed during an interview with her husband. The interviewer had been asking a question to this man, and being that Tia has mentioned in the past how she met him and how she took a liking to him when he was standing in a bus stop many years ago, and how she had approached him and befriended him, and then they had gone on to become boyfriend and girlfriend and eventually get married. And she just took a liking to him and supported him in his career, even introduced him to film and movie acting, and he became a successful actor in his own right, even though he never did become as big an actor as her. She helped him along the way and supported him, I'm sure, both financially and otherwise. Before they got married, it became public knowledge that she did arrange for a prenuptial agreement, which was very lucky for her, because when the divorce process was underway, he had assumed that he was going to get his hands on her money and argued with the court officials about it at some point, that he thought she was going to be paying for him to leave and continue to live that wealthy and that successful lifestyle that they lived when he was married to her. But the judge thought otherwise and put an end to his beliefs and his ideas and his thoughts that was going to be the case. When the interviewer was interviewing both of them, and they had asked a question of him and he was responding. I think he had almost gotten to the end of his response when his wife excitedly chipped in a bit of information that she was excited about talking about. And she was so excited to mention it and talking so excitedly about it. But this man looked at her, and what he said and the way he said it just made me cringe, because he stopped her short and said to her, "Let me talk. Let me talk." And he glared at her with his eyes wide open like that. And I was taken aback, because this was supposed to be, this was an interview that he knew was going to be broadcast eventually to millions of people. And the fact that he did not care to show how disrespectful he could be to her, who was a bigger star than him, and even forget the fact that she was a bigger star, the fact that she was his wife. He could have easily just told her later, after the interview ended, that, "See, honey, I don't really appreciate you interrupting me. Please, next time, try to wait for me to finish." There are ways to address situations like that, not openly embarrass your wife. And that's what he thought was the best action at that time. Little signs here and there sometimes point to narcissistic traits, but doesn't necessarily mean that someone is a narcissist. We all have our traits, but the fact that he ended up getting divorced might mean that maybe he was one. I'm just putting my 5 cents in. Because, if you can do that kind of, or respond that way to your wife in public, or in a situation where you knew that interview was going to be seen by millions of people, and you didn't care about that, or how you made her feel or look, how would you behave to her behind closed doors, is the question that I beg to ask at this point. So that's my point here. When he said that, she did the right thing, and she just sat back in her chair and recoiled and just looked down and kept quiet and said nothing. That, in a sense, is like gray rocking. She didn't respond back in anger or glare at him back. So all empaths must learn to gray rock to avoid conflicts with the narcissist. Thank you for tuning in to Cannibal Diva Chronicles. Please comment, and please subscribe, and please follow. Have a good day.